Hey, what's up? So, making this video to explain some of the upcoming messages so you understand where we're going with this and why I'm doing certain things. So, just to go back for a little bit, I did a couple messages recently. One was about Kanye, about the Phoenix and the death ritual and all that stuff. The reason I did that is to show that he has had knowledge of the occult, some occult concepts such as Phoenix. He used to wear the Horus necklace, death and rebirth, and occult symbolism he's used in his videos, and just on, wearing them, and even on his clothes, and to show that, he has all this knowledge of it, but then he never came out and said, yeah, I know about all that stuff and I'm against it now, here's why, and like just no explanation about all that. And why would you be into that stuff and the connections to the industry and all that? I mean, it goes deep, right? So we talked about that, but that was just kind of just a barely an introduction to this type of stuff, okay? Because I'm going to tell you that we're going to do one more about Kanye, and that's going to be the last for a long time. I'm not going to say forever, but for a long time. And the reason we need to do it is not just about him. It's that opens the door to talk about a bunch of other things, okay? And so the next one that talks about Kanye is going to be talking about that first of all, he's not crazy. He knows a lot more than you think about what he's doing. And I'm going to prove that through all his history and connections to a lot of things. You're going to see things that he said out of his own mouth. And you're going to see that. And then that opens the door to something else. Okay? And a bigger role that he's fulfilling. And we'll talk about that. And that goes... And so we get to that layer. And when we see that role all throughout history, we can peel back that layer. And then that leads us to something else. And we need to talk about this bigger concept and how the role of that thing plays into this bigger picture. And then after we do that, we peel back that layer, and that brings us to something else that I'm trying to get to. But we got to do these 3 different messages in order to get to the 4th one. And then once we get to that, then it brings us back to more recent history. And we're going to see how this concept, you understand that, is going to totally change, I think, a lot of people's understanding about what happened in the past 150 years or so. And you're going to see things in a different light and see there's something else that was really going on. And then it opens up actually for other messages in related topics to that. So... but we have to do it this way, and we have to do these messages to get to a certain direction that we're going. So it's all for a reason, it's all for a purpose, and we're getting to this point. It's really important to understand. And another thing is, I'm trying to get this out as fast as I can and get all this done, in preparation for next year. I think next year, a lot of stuff's going to happen. So, and then the other thing is, if you haven't watched it, please watch the recent video I did, the last video I just did, The Author of Confusion, because that's an almost 2-hour video. That's a Bible study about this whole concept of confusion, chaos, and disorder in the Bible. And it's really going to help you to get these concepts down from a biblical worldview. So you view the upcoming messages through the lens of the biblical worldview from that teaching, and then also just viewing the world in general through a biblical worldview, understanding all these different things that are talked about in the Bible, why they talk about them, and it's going to help to sharpen your discernment. That's the biggest thing, okay? The biggest thing is there is so much deception, but there's going to be even more deception, and it's going to get really intense. Sometimes it's going to be confusing, and in order to untangle all that and to be able to cut through it and see through it, we got to do these teachings, and you got to have that perspective that I talked about in The Author of Confusion to understand a lot of what's going on, so that you're not confused, so that you're not, wondering what's going on in the middle of the chaos and disorder. So I believe that's very helpful. I pray that you please watch that. And then also, one last thing is, I'm going to do these series of messages, the Kanye one, and then the other ones after that are related. But in between, I'll probably throw in other messages, other Bible studies, maybe some of these, the shorter teachings where I'm sitting here talking about the Bible and stuff like that. And so basically, yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's where we're going with this. It's all for a reason. It all works together, and it's designed to help with discernment in the end times, and especially in a time of a lot of chaos, confusion, and disorder. Because there's not a lot of truth being spoken out there, sadly. I wish there was, but there isn't. And I wish I could point in the right direction, but there's just not a lot. So I'm just trying to do the best that I can by the grace of God to speak the truth. And we should all work together, though. Take the teachings and, like I said, download them, copy and paste them, spread them around everywhere. Download the PDFs, use them as Bible studies. Maybe take some portion and throw it over here, throw it over there, whatever. Just get the truth out to as many people as we can. That's what we need to do to counteract this type of stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to give you a heads up of what's going to be happening, why we're talking about certain things. It's not for no reason. There is a bigger plan to all this. And by the grace of God, I hope to reach a lot of people, and it's going to have a big impact. And it's definitely necessary. All right? And so, and the last thing is, please pray. Please pray for me and for protection. Protection. My voice is cracking. Please pray for protection, that as I'm working on all this, interruptions, distractions, the devil trying to mess things up, that no matter what, God would give grace to get through that, push through, and get all these done, get it out there, get it out to everybody. And please pray for that. So I thank you for all that. Thank you for prayers and support and everything else. And keep an eye out for those upcoming teachings. God bless you and have a good day.